When I began my research, I was looking for information on English teaching. An English teacher will teach their students grammar, sentence structure, vocabulary, and about the different forms of literature, among other things. In order to be a good teacher, you must earn a bachelor's degree, obtain a teaching license, and gain the necessary skills and personality traits needed for the job, and you may also have to learn other skills for other positions in a school, such as a librarian or a guidance counselor. According to the Occupational Outlook Handbook, requirements to become a high school teacher vary by state. All states require a bachelor's degree along with a completed student teaching program. A lot of teachers have a master's degree in their preferred subject. All states require every applicant to be tested in competency of basic skills in area of study they wish to teach. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Ferguson's Career Guidance Center states that all teachers must be licensed, and Eckhorn McDavid states that you also need to complete an accredited teacher education program that includes pedagogy, classes on their subject, and a student teaching program. Teachers who are first starting out may be assigned mentor teachers. These teachers help with lesson plans and managing students and their activities. Workshops may also be required for high school teachers. The Arkansas Department of Education states that praxis tests are required for licensure in many states, including Arkansas. The Praxis 1 tests basic skills, including reading, writing, and math, and is usually taken before entering or at the beginning of a teacher preparation program. The Praxis 2 is a test of advanced skills, including teaching and the subject you want to teach. This test is usually taken near the end or while enrolled in the preparation program. The Praxis 3 is the final test in the series. This test is required in order to convert an Arkansas Provisional or Initial Teaching License to a Standard Teaching License. Arkansas Department of Education. The Praxis 3 tests the skills of new teachers in their own classes, which means a trained state-certified advisor will sit in on a class. Before and after observing the new teacher in their classes, interviews are held. This test requires the new teacher to provide a written description of both their class and their subject. One skill teachers need is communication. This ties in with being effective in their teaching. If students can't understand their teacher, then they won't be able to learn. Teachers need to be clear and hard with their students when disciplining them so that they will understand why they are in trouble. A clear line of communication will also be needed when teaching. Communicating with students will form a good teacher-student relationship in which their teacher will see them grow in their education and sometimes even their personal lives. Jody King said that the most rewarding thing is when you actually develop relationships with your students, and you can see the impact you had on them. Marilyn Jones says something similar, stating that students need one-on-one interaction with their teachers in order for their students to really learn. If someone were to teach in public schools, having good relationships with their students would be hard, but still possible. They would need to take the time to give extra help and, if students aren't doing well in class, figure out why and try to help them. Besides students, teachers will definitely need to be able to communicate with fellow faculty members as well as parents. If communication with other faculty, especially the administrators of the school, isn't clear, then a teacher won't be able to do their job correctly. They won't know what they are supposed to be doing or when important events are going on, such as faculty meetings or workshops. Communication with parents is somewhat similar. Meeting with parents and letting them know how their child is doing in school is very important. Parents may give input on how their child learns and certain needs they may have. Cooperation goes together with communication. If a teacher can't cooperate with fellow teachers, administrators, and parents, then they cannot do their job efficiently. Other skills may be needed for this career. Malloy and Seidman state that since there is a shortage of teachers, some schools may ask their teachers to conduct classes outside of their certification field. This means that they may need a little knowledge in fields other than English. Other skills they may need include coaching skills, librarian skills, or counseling skills. These skills will come in handy when a shortage in these areas happens. The job prospects for teachers are improving. The Occupational Outlook Handbook says that in 2006, teachers held about 4 million jobs, while high school teachers held 1.1 million of those jobs, and employment for teachers is expected to grow about 12% from 2006 to 2016, which will create about 479,000 additional positions. The Bureau of Labor Statistics states that many of these jobs will come from retiring teachers. The Occupational Outlook Handbook also states that working hours for teachers may vary, but are usually around 40 hours a week for 10 months out of the year. During the summer, teachers may decide to teach summer school or attend workshops for their field of study or general teaching workshops. In most public schools, teachers will gain tenure usually after 3 years. Gaining tenure means that you could lose your job without just cause. You could not. lose your job without just cause. Enrollment is another factor in the number of teaching jobs in the United States because it varies by region. Because the number of enrolled students is always changing, the number of jobs available for teachers is always changing as well. The regions which are growing the fastest are the South and the West. The slowest growing region is the Northeast. Job openings will also vary because of the subject. If not able to find a job, some teachers will probably decide to be a substitute teacher. This will help gain more experience with a larger group of students and working with other teachers, and also gain public school experience. They may not only be a substitute for an English teacher, but possibly other subjects as well. By substituting in other subjects, they will be able to gain more knowledge in other subject areas if their employer needed them to teach another subject for some reason. Income for teachers is about average compared to other career incomes. In May 2006, the annual median earnings for a teacher was $43,480 to $48,690. Income may vary between schools and whether or not they decide to work in a public or private school. Teachers may be able to boost their income in several ways. Teaching summer school is one way to boost income. The Bureau of Labor Statistics states that other ways would be to coach, become a temporary school counselor, or become a temporary school librarian. Other opportunities may come along, but the ones mentioned are the most common. Throughout my research, I have learned that being a teacher is more than just telling students what they need to know. You must take the time to learn the subject you are teaching and also learn how to be effective in teaching your students. You must know how to communicate and cooperate with students and their parents and with fellow faculty. At times, you may need to know how to do other things than just teaching English, such as counseling or coaching. Many skills and personality traits are needed for this career. At times, it may be hard to find employment, but this career is fairly secure and a good career choice.